Investigating Algal Blooms, Nature versus Nurture by Olivia Wen. To start, my objective is to explain how algal blooms form and what they do. I will also explain how algal blooms affected Lake Temescal, why it is harmful to it, and findings and recommendations on how we can stop algal blooms from forming. What are algal blooms? Algal blooms are a rapid growth of cyanobacteria and phytoplankton, resulting in colored scum at the surface of the water. This is harmful to people and animals due to the algae releasing toxins that contaminate the water, causing illnesses. These illnesses include gastrointestinal issues for humans, if ingested, and if dogs ingest it, it is toxic enough for them that it could cause death. These are the 6 subtopics I will be discussing. 1. Environmental factors. 2. Human influence factors. 3. Genetic influences. 4. Case study. 5. Findings and recommendations. And 6. Conclusion. 1. Environmental factors. How is the environment affecting the toxic algal bloom? Climate change is a huge factor of algal blooms. When temperatures rise, so do the temperatures in the water. Because of climate change, this means the temperatures will rise more. Algal blooms find warm water a more suiting place for growth, which means the algal bloom rate will increase due to the warm water. Another environmental factor is the nitrogen to phosphorus level, which is a nutrient it feeds off of. If it is high in the freshwater lake or wherever it is growing, it will result in more algae growth, resulting in algal blooms. Algal blooms can form in any season, but they get worse during the summer months and actually occur most commonly during summer. Sunlight levels tend to get higher in the summer months, promoting the growth of algae. Algae need sunlight to photosynthesize and produce energy, and these strong sun rays make it so the algae growth rate increases. The pH level in the water also influences if they can grow or not. Most algae thrives from the pH levels 6 through 9, although there are some types of algae that are exceptions to it. Dry weather means the body of water dries up more quickly, resulting in lower water levels. Algae find this a more suitable condition to grow, because the water is warmer when it is shallower. 2. Human influence factors. How are we affecting algal blooms? Climate change is mostly our doing because of the carbon dioxide we emit into the atmosphere, which results in warmer temperatures and contributes to global warming and algal blooms. This is one factor that affects algal blooms. Our runoff from agriculture affects algal blooms because of the phosphorus to nitrogen ratio that is found in the fertilizer used for agriculture. This causes the nutrient level in freshwater places where algal blooms grow to increase by a lot, which provides more food for algal blooms, promoting them greatly. Effluent from sewage also has high nitrogen levels, and when it goes into freshwater lakes or where algal blooms grow, they feed off of it, creating a more ideal environment for it to grow. 3. Genetic influences. How does the genetic variation affect its growth and toxicity? Cyanobacteria is in all types of algae. However, it's the genes that make this type of bacteria toxic. There are 2 types of bacteria, non-toxic and toxic. Toxic cyanobacteria include Microcystis, Anabina, Aphanizomenon, Cylindrospermopsis, and Planktothrix. Non-toxic cyanobacteria include Leptolingbia and Synocystis. For example, there are types of cyanobacteria that have genetic traits to take advantage of when there are lots of nutrients in the water. They can absorb more nutrients, which allows them for rapid growth. 2. Cyanobacteria also have a genetic trait that allows them to reproduce fast. This allows them to multiply when the conditions are favorable, which makes that an issue. 3. Lastly, cyanobacteria have special genes that make them unappealing to predators, allowing them to grow and flourish without predator disruption. This allows them to dominate the area and contribute to bloom formation. 4. Case study. Details about the toxic algal bloom in Lake Temescal. In 2017, there was a toxic algal bloom in Lake Temescal that closed the lake down. Algal blooms can cause cyanotoxins, and these toxins can lead to rashes and even in some serious cases, pet deaths. Because the lake was closed down, swimmers in summer camps hoping to enjoy a day of fun in the water were disappointed when they found out they could not swim. The algal bloom has also led to a decrease of the lake's fish population. Findings and recommendations. What can we do to prevent algal blooms? Algal blooms are mainly caused by excess nutrients and warm weather. Algal blooms are equipped to live in different types of fresh water depending all on the pH level and how livable the conditions are. The most prominent factors that contributed to the Lake Temescal algal bloom was the warm weather conditions causing a drought, which resulted in the low-level water conditions. Ways that we can prevent algal blooms is frequently monitoring the body of water and reducing the amount of nutrients that enter in the water. By regularly monitoring the water, we can potentially detect the starting of an algal bloom and prevent a full bloom from happening by preparing beforehand. Phosphorus and nitrogen often come from fertilizer and sewage runoff. Reducing the amount of agricultural and sewage runoff in the water will make sure that cyanobacteria won't be able to feed off of it, preventing algal blooms completely. Number 6. Conclusion. Overall, in this presentation, we have discussed how algal blooms are harmful and affect the environment around it greatly. We have spoken about the main factors that cause algal blooms, such as the water pH level and the warm weather conditions. It is really important to understand how algal blooms form and how they work because they are becoming more and more frequent due to the heat. Knowing this information will allow us to try and help to make the occurrence of algal blooms become less severe or prevent it from happening early on. In the future, this will become a more and more dreadful issue, and we will need to do more research. Everyone needs to do a little more help to this world, and I think you are capable of helping too. Thank you for listening.